Hey again, I'm Catharsis. We're back with some more gameplay in Ark Survival Evolved. Now, if you've been following the videos along at all, you know that in our last video we did build a simple structure here just to give some shelter. It was just basically a little square box that I that I made based on the pieces that I could make out of thatch, and I made some adjustments to the house to kind of expand on it a little bit, make it a little bit larger and a little bit more roomy, and give it a little bit more style. This roof really, unfortunately, kind of cuts in the middle of the room there, but I gave it sort of like a cantilevered look. It didn't work out exactly as I had hoped, mostly because these roof pieces have a tendency to kind of jut into the room. And with this wall only being a single story high, it does end up encroaching a little bit on the living space. But as you can see, we do have a little bit more room in here now. We did learn some more pieces, and I've done a little bit of leveling up. I'm now up to level 8, and I've done a fair amount of harvesting to try and gather materials for some of the different future building pieces that we're going to get access to. So I've only just gotten to a level now where I can actually start accessing wooden structures, although I haven't picked up any of the engrams for that yet. I only have a single engram available to me now. But what I thought we would do today is tame our first dinosaur. So while I don't have a saddle available to be able to ride around on the dinosaur, which you can do a little bit later in the game, and it gives you a whole lot more mobility, what I can do is use that dinosaur as a pack animal to increase my load for collecting things. So I have been finding that at the level that I'm at, I'm having to, unfortunately, run back to my home a lot with materials. And as you can see, I've really kind of stripped a lot of the trees and stuff out of here recently. This beach has also started to become a little bit more crowded. There's another house that's built up behind me there, which actually is close enough that it's causing some issues with my house building. I can't build walls on this little section out here, so I'm going to use it as a little porch. And I'm sure, and all the space up in here, you know, sort of becomes no man's land where neither one of us can build on it structure-wise because the other player is a little bit too close. So, oh, there goes another player now. Nope. Oh, that's quite the lag. Snapped him right back. So anyway, what we're going to do today is work on capturing a dinosaur, and we're going to tame it, and then I can use it as a pack animal so that when I head out to do foraging, I can load the animal up with the materials that I've gathered, and then that'll give me a little bit of extra carry space. Now, there was a parasaur wandering around here that I thought we would try taming, although it seems like it may have wandered off, and hopefully nobody killed it, because I'm going to have to try and find another one. But the general premise behind taming dinosaurs is relatively straightforward, although it is very time-consuming. Generally speaking, you just want to knock the animal out. You either do that by clubbing it with a club, shooting it with stones from a slingshot, or when you're high enough level, you can actually get access to trank arrows. And there goes the sun again. You can't get access to trank arrows, and that will let you put the dinosaur to sleep. And then, while it's out cold, you basically feed it food so that it gradually tames and becomes something that you can control. So, for a parasaur, their favorite food is vegetables, and that's what tames them most quickly. I don't have access to any vegetables right now, but we can use berries in its place. And then their favorite berry is the maho berry or majo berry. I'm not sure exactly how it's pronounced. And then if I don't have the majo berry, then I can just use regular berries. It just takes more of them. So that's probably what we're going to use. We do have some of those maho berries. I'm not sure how they're pronounced. But all told, we have quite a few other berries here that I can use to tame the animal and get control of that. Get control of that parasaur. So here we have, and actually this is conveniently placed housing. I have a supply drop that actually drops right behind my house. Now I've noticed it's a bit of a race to get to these. There seem to be a lot of low-level players playing in this area. So when these white drops come down, it does seem to result in a few people kind of gathering around to try to grab them. When I moved in here, this beach was pretty much empty. The only buildings that were over here, of course, were the ones that are over on the other side of the hill over there. But now we have there's a building up behind me here. There's one over there on the beach. Down there's some rocks, and there's a building behind there. Can't see it, of course, because the rocks are in the way. But that's where there is another house there. And so yeah, see this it's already attracted a total of 3 of us to try to get a hold of the supplies that are coming out of this thing. Yeah, he thinks he's gonna punch me. See, the thing is, we're playing on a PvE server, so there's no capability for him to hit me. But people do silly things like that, like, oh, this is my supply crate, I'm gonna take it. The thing I found though is some people are really fast at at getting into the crate and then getting over to the button you have to hit to try to take everything that's in it. So it's going to be a bit of a race. I'm not exceptionally fast at this. With any luck, we'll manage to get some of the supplies that are in here. But it is going to be a bit of a challenge. They're going to be right in there, both of them probably. Oh, there's a third person now with some really funky looking outfit on. He's got like one arm that looks like it's massive. So he went the option of in the character creation of picking some body features that are just crazy. I did have the fortune when I first set up shop here that I got one of these supply crates all by myself, and there was no race or challenge to get to it. But now there's a whole lot more company on this beach, which we're not thrilled about. Now the plan, of course, is not to stay in this beach, but to come on, yeah, I got it. Beat you all to the race this time. I've had a couple people beat me to the supply pod already. So it's, fortunately this time I managed to win out, and we got the supplies that were in it. What do we have here? Got a blueprint for a thatched door frame, which I already know how to make, so this unfortunately isn't terribly helpful for me. We got a thatch roof, thatch foundation, thatch door frame. So basically just a lot of junk. I might be able to use those later as I build out some other structures if once we relocate, but for right now, not a terrible lot of use for me, unfortunately. But you know, it's always a race to try to get to this stuff anyway. So, all right, so we'll put those in the box and then see if we can go find a parasaur. Oops, that's not what I want to do. I'll get my torch going because it's getting a little dark out here. And I do actually need to make a club, so I should make sure I have the supplies to do that. I do. Perfect. Okay, so I have a slingshot available with 16 stones. And then we have a club that we can use also. Probably we'll start with the club, and then if the parasaur starts to get too far away, then I can start shooting it with some stones to try to knock it out. Now the tricky part is going to be finding that parasaur. So I found one already, but it looks like it's either wandered off or somebody's killed it, unfortunately. So we'll take a little wander down the beach, see if we can find something here. Hopefully we won't run into any predators. And when we get to level 10, we'll have access to more pieces that we can build with. I did just get access... how am I dehydrated already? That was quick. I did just get access to build the wooden walls, although I haven't purchased that engram yet. And as we get some of those better building materials to build with, then I can swap out the thatch for some of those wooden pieces as well. I have been stocking up quite a bit of wood and thatch that gives me the ability later on to kind of build stuff. And I did a whole pile of harvesting for berries in order to do this taming, so that I don't have to run and try and find berries while I'm busy trying to tame the animal, or tame the dinosaur. Depending on the number or the level of the dinosaur, you need a different amount of berries to keep it unconscious. So there are those narcoberries that you collect that you don't want to eat because they increase your torpor, which can knock you out, but you do use those for taming animals. So I think I have something around in the neighborhood of 40 or 45 of them. And then I have a whole pile of other berries that we'll use for the actual food, which is what accomplishes the taming. Now the dinosaur has to stay unconscious the entire time, otherwise you don't successfully tame it. As you get into higher levels, there are different types of food that you can give the animal that tames it faster. Parasaurs, the best you can get is vegetables, but for other animals or other dinosaurs, they have kibble that's specifically for that type of dinosaur that you can make that significantly speeds up that taming process. Starving. So it looks like that parasaur got away, or became somebody's dinner. I'm not really sure which of the two. I can get a better vantage. Nice that you can see my house from a long way away. I think I left that torch in there. As it gets a little darker, it's going to be more and more challenging. So at least it's a nice bright beacon glowing in the middle of the sand there. Funny how quickly you tend to strip all the resources around you. I mean, look, there's hardly a tree to be seen over in that area now, but it was fairly well populated with trees when I first moved in there. Alright, well this is no good. If I can't find a parasaur, then I can't tame it. Gosh, where'd he go? There's got to be a Parasaur around here somewhere. What's that? Predator bird. Fortunately, he's not. Fortunately, he's not aggressive. I have found that actually the stuff that's hardest to fight are the things that fly. So there's some little carnivorous birds that attack you that are just rough to fight against. If you get into the deep forest, sometimes you get these bugs that attack you, and they're vicious. They poison you. They swarm, so there's a whole bunch of them, and then they're moving around you kind of quickly, and they're pretty hard to get. Oh, there's the Parasaur. So we're going to try and make this Parasaur here our pet if he's not already someone else's. He's a level 10, so it's probably going to take us, I don't know, somewhere around the neighborhood of 30 Narcoberries to keep it asleep, and then I'm not sure exactly how many other berries, but I'm going to need to equip my club in order to start clubbing him, basically. Alright. So our first objective is to knock him out. Now, when we hit this Parasaur, he's going to run. These things are just keyed up to automatically run away, so hopefully he turns around and runs away from me. Yeah, there we go. Oh, don't run into the forest, though. I don't want him going into the forest. I can't see him. Alright, so in the forest is where all the bugs are. We don't want him going there, because then I have to contend with bugs, and we may have a bigger issue. Alright, come on, he's running. Yeah, he's bolting into the forest. This is not where I want to be. Kind of low level, and these bugs are... it's also really dark in here as soon as you turn your torch out. Shoot, come on. I don't really want to try to tame him in here where there's going to be a bunch of bugs. I'm clubbing him in the dark. He's running further into the woods. Come on, Parasaur. I'm starving. I'm going to eat some food. Alright, I'm going to throw my torch down this time so I have a little bit of light. Ah, no, he ran as soon as I threw it. Come on. Pick up the torch. Where'd he go now? I got some really good shots in on him, but just didn't knock him out. Now I don't know where he ran off to. Little tactic of throwing the torch on the ground so I could see while I'm fighting him didn't quite pan out in my favor. It looks like whoever set up shop around here really stripped this place down. Is this the Parasaur I was just beating on? No, this is a level 2 Parasaur. Well, you know what? Let's try to take this guy instead. It'll probably work out better. It'll take fewer hits to knock him out, hopefully. Come back here, Parasaur. Ah, no, I can't see. It's so dark. Oh, he just ran off a cliff. This is so dangerous. I'm running in the dark. Ah. Alright, I can see him down below there, but I need to go back for my torch. I don't think I have the materials on me to build another one right now. Alright, this is not working so well in the dark. I'm going to skip ahead till daylight, and then we'll see what I can catch when it's a little more light out, and I don't have to try to toggle between playing with a torch and playing with the club to try to take this thing out. Alright, we're back. This time we have a little bit of daylight on our side. This time, and we have 2 Parasaurs to choose from. So this Parasaur is a wild female, and is the one I think I'm going to try to get. I can't see what level it is. Level 22. That might be a challenge. This one is a wild female, level 4. Let's go after the level 4 female. It might be a little bit quicker to knock it out, and it'll take fewer resources to try to tame it. So, all right, Parasaur, take, I don't know, what is this? Take 3, take 4. I've lost count. So first objective, we got to knock the Parasaur out. Give it a good beating here. It's gonna run. Hopefully, it'll get blocked up by this rock wall. If I can get it coaxed right in there. Oh, is it stuck? Alright, so I think it's stuck behind the rock wall here, which is actually ideal because I can knock it out from here. I'm not sure how many hits it's going to take. Come on, Parasaur. Ah, it's so cold. Alright, so we have our Parasaur knocked out. Now the trick is we got to keep it out cold. And that's going to take the Narcoberries. So what we do is we'll go in and access the animal's inventory, and then we have to load the Narcoberries into the animal as well as the berries we're going to feed it. So we'll give it to a bunch of Mayho berries because they're its favorite. We'll give it azul berries and then these tinto berries, and that should be plenty of berries between the Narcoberries to keep it out cold and the other berries to actually tame it. Now, basically what will happen is as the food value for the animal goes down, you'll see it on the lower right there. The max is 1,500 for this for the Parasaur, and so as it goes down, it'll naturally eat the berries that you've already put in the inventory. But to keep it asleep, see how it's got an unconscious meter there? You're actually going to have to force feed it the Narcoberries because it won't eat the Narcoberries on its own. So basically, you just go into the inventory, pick the Narcoberries, or sorry, and just right click with the trigger on it, and that's all it takes. So I'm going to stand here and keep this thing unconscious while it eats the berries, and then below the unconscious meter, you can see that it's got a taming meter that's going up as well. Now, with the Parasaur, the Mayho berries will tame it faster than the other types of berries will, and vegetables even faster than that. But most of what I have in it is just the other types of berries, so it's probably going to take a little while to tame this. We'll cut back once we have it tamed, and we'll head back towards the enclosure with it. All right, we're almost there. It's been about just about maybe a little more than 15-minute wait. As you can see, the brown training bar on the Parasaur is very close to being full. Once it gets maxed out, then we'll have the animal tamed. We'll get a chance to name it, and it'll give a little pop-up with a card and stuff that kind of gives you some information about the Parasaur. But it should be just about any moment now. She's still eating the berries, but it looks like at this point the bar is pretty much full. Success! We have our first dinosaur. Alright, so I'm going to give it a name. No, the entire purpose of taming this animal is mostly just so that I can have it follow me around and I can use it as a way to carry stuff. So I'm going to call her Pack Mule, because that's effectively what I'm going to be using her as. When I get a little higher level and I can make a saddle, then of course I'll saddle her up so we can ride her around also. But in the meantime, Pack Mule can be my friendly neighborhood dinosaur to carry stuff around for me. Okay, so I'm going to take her back to the shelter and get something set up. So I'm going to need some sort of a pen so I can keep her from getting eaten by some Dilophosaurus that run around on the beach. If you do leave your dinosaur, you can't just leave it sitting outside your shelter. But if you do, there's a distinct chance it'll get eaten by some other dinosaur. So I'm going to go and try and make an enclosure for it to keep it safe. Thank you all for checking out the video. Again, I'm Catharsis, and I will see all of you next time.